Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it. The eyes from stack.
Okay, so welcome back, everybody, to On the Mess Express. Today we have a special guest joining us, Lindsay from Lynn River Farm here. For anyone who doesn't know or hasn't heard about Lynn River Farm, they are known for being a family-run farm-to-table operation near Stratford. They grow organic produce, raise free-range meat and eggs, and deliver community shares and farm fresh meals with a deep focus on local, wholesome foods. Lindsay will definitely get into all of that a little bit more, but just to kind of give you a general idea. And so today we have Lindsay again here sharing kind of the behind the scenes of the farm life, the balance, and all in between. So thank you again, Lindsay, for joining. We will kind of hop in right to question number one if you're ready. So let's go back and start from the beginning. And how did Lynn River Farm get started?
Great. Well, I do just want to say thank you for having me. But yeah, the story of how our farm began is probably one of my favorite stories. I feel like along the way, the universe has given me a few little nudges in life, and starting Lynn River Farm was definitely one of them. So the story that I have often told was it started when I was driving back to the farm where I live now with my dad. My grandparents had owned the farm and they had it rented out for about 15 years in total. So I had grown up with my grandparents living there and lots of fond memories. And then in my teens and my early 20s, I kind of forgot that this farm existed because they had it rented out. So this day driving back, before we even got back to, I don't know, for picking something up out of the shed, I had asked my dad if he thought my grandpa would sell me this farm. And I can hear him still laugh and say no, that he wouldn't sell me this farm. He mentioned that I wouldn't have enough money for the tires on the truck we were driving, let alone to purchase this farm. So, and it's funny because he was right in a way, but when I talk about kind of those things that are meant to be, and I don't think it's always our job to figure out how something is going to happen, but to still have being grateful and wanting to ask and pursue these things anyway. So I did ask my grandfather, and he did say basically how soon could I sell my house. I had just purchased a house in Tavistock. So I wasn't even looking to necessarily make a move or purchase a farm, but within a few months I had sold my house and me and Mike, my husband, moved into this farm. So that was the start. The house on the farm was built in 1836, so it's very old. We spent that first year kind of fixing up, what we could afford room by room. And then I was working at ShelterLink in Stratford as a case manager and also not looking for a career change, but I had a call to pick up some produce at another local farm. And so I went out there, and what they were doing was a CSA program, so community shared or community supported agriculture. And so what that is customers prepay for a season of vegetables, of produce, whatever you're growing from your farm. So they pay in the winter months, that provides the farmers some income, and then you're growing for them and delivering or picking up from the farm. So once I had visited this farm, I had that nudge of, this is something we could do on our farm. We had this land we weren't, really using for much when we moved in. So yeah, I bought a book that kind of explained everything you could know about starting a market garden and how many seeds to grow versus how many families and so on. So
Farming 101.
Yeah, it was. So I read that. We started seeds in the winter in our house, and we did that for a couple of years, before a greenhouse, and kind of grew that side of the business. So we started with 20 families, and then I don't know how many years we did run that for, but in the end, we ended with 75 families that we were growing produce.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
I
that was
it's
the
so
start in the early days, and it kind of has evolved into different things since then, but
For sure. It just makes it that much more wholesome, really, and that much more special because it was your grandfather's too, and it was passed down. It wasn't just a farm that you purchased in hopes with big aspirations and dreams. It's that much more
yeah.
special too, which is
Yeah,
it's
it
really
really
sweet.
yeah, sorry, things just fell into place,
Yeah,
and I do think that that holds, yeah, some value, yeah, of being on the right path and where you're supposed to be.
absolutely. I agree for sure. I agree for sure. So, with that being said, what would you say was the hardest part of starting out?
Mm, I'm sure there was some concerns, like, financially, that to me
Mm.
seems like the appropriate answer. I feel like, though, the hardest part of starting is really just to start, is to kinda have the belief in yourself and that you can do this, that worrying about maybe what other people think if you did this, I
Mhm.
grew up on a farm. Mike didn't grow up on a farm. The farming that we were doing was different than the farm I grew up on, small, organic, just a different a different style that I do
Mhm.
remember having these thoughts of, what other people would think of what I was doing, but they were fleeting. I think the hardest part of starting is just to start and have that belief in yourself.
For sure. Imposter syndrome is definitely
Mm.
real. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, you just have to take that leap and hope for the best. And I mean, thankfully for you guys, it's worked out and it's been great. So,
I think a part
yeah.
of that too is, I think sometimes we might want to start something or do something for good reasons, but when it comes from a place of like real desire or passion to do something, those are the times I think should trust yourself to make that kind of that leap.
Mhm. Well, you want it so bad, you don't want it to fail. So, how do you get
Yeah.
started with making it success right off the bat?
Right.
So,
Well, and you're
yeah.
willing to do the hardest work to make it work
Mhm.
because you want it so much. So that helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. Can you share a kind of fun or chaotic story that you can remember early days on at Lynn River?
Um, I
Probably many chaotic
I
stories,
was
but is
just
there
gonna
one
say,
that stands out?
I don't know that I have any fun stories in my
Yeah.
repertoire, but, chaotic for sure. I think that it comes with farming, really. The chaos of it all. Nothing in particular that stands out. It is kind of a way of life here on the farm, is to be prepared and find a comfy spot in the chaos because everything
Mhm,
is changing constantly. What you set out to do in your to-do list for the day changes entirely when, 50 turkeys escape and are wandering down by the quarry or,
mhm.
whatever might come up. There are probably more animal escapee stories that I think are kind of fun. Mike doesn't at all. But yeah, that's the chaos.
Probably very stressful, yeah.
It can
But you
it
just have
can
to
Yep, but
make light of it.
yes, it could throw a little, wrench into the day, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive into more of everyday kind of chores that you do on the farm or what a typical day on the farm looks like for you guys.
Mhm, okay. A typical day is it can be all over the place, really, and, in terms of the seasons of the farm and kind of where we're at in that chunk of time, our to-do lists change and look completely different, but, currently, being in the fall season, we are starting to wrap up our outdoor dining season as well as, kind of approaching our Thanksgiving time, so right now, a typical day on the farm, well, it always starts with chores and animals and making sure everyone's fed. And then it always next starts with making sure all the staff have everything they need, whichever staff are in for the day. We have a team of just 5 people that work different shifts. My job is to kind of make sure everybody's on the right path for the day, everyone's fed and taken care of. And then
Mm.
we are into, answering emails and basically I'm organizing everything to get set up for our weekend events. So this weekend, for example, we're doing a ladies' night, a catering in Severingville, as well as 3 farm dinners, which is a really big weekend for us. So I am kind of getting those organized, but also doing the baking and making bread and any sort of ingredients that need to come together and any sort of interaction with customers. So people that are coming in for the weekend, I'm checking in with them that they know what's happening and dietary and all that stuff.
Mm,
And then hopefully the flip side now that it's fall is to get my work done so that we can have the kids up from school and kind of have that home time with them as well.
absolutely, for sure. Just constantly changing. Every day's different on the farm.
And it is. Yeah.
So, how would you how would you say it is with balancing, because your kids are fairly young too, so balancing like that family time and running the farm as well? Are your kids involved with the day-to-day chaos essentially? Do you like to, when they come home from school, is it okay, all hands on deck for a little bit? Or on the
Mm.
weekend, do they have their daily chores? Like, how do they kind of fit in with the farm?
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of when we say balance. I think we've found a little bit now. We're in kind of a good rhythm, but it's not always the case. And the kids, it is often all hands on deck. So as things are kind of wrapping up this season and we do have, a lot of good help with our staff, I feel like there is some balance. At the beginning of the season, when we're just trying to get everything planted in the garden and dinner started and all this work is kind of new again and heavy for the season, the kids are helping with chores. They're doing a lot of the chores and continue to do that throughout the year. My oldest does the farm dinner dishes on occasion, so he'll be helping at night with that. My other middle child might be helping serve at the dinner for a little while or chopping firewood, any sort of stacking firewood. There's lots
Mhm.
of, yeah, hands-on stuff that the kids generally do without putting up too much of a fight because it is just what we do on a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I'm sure they love it too because it's their own as well. It's not like they're going out and it's like, okay, go help your aunt and uncle or your grandma. This is
Right.
their home too. So I'm sure they take pride in that as well.
They've
So,
really gotten
yeah.
accustomed, to chatting with guests, like, they've grown up when we had our farm store, which the storefront part is closed right now, but, when we had our farm store, they were babies, and so they grew up really there working with us and just being a part of customers all the time, so, they do not shy away from, a nice, polite conversation with people. That's probably the
Yep.
biggest compliment we get and that people really do enjoy kind of interacting with the kids and they're not shy to tell them about the farm or take them over to show them baby chicks or whatnot.
Mhm.
So they like
That's
that.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure the guests just appreciate that as well too, because I mean, there's only one of you two to be running around and, I'm sure you want to mingle and chat with everyone too, but
Yeah.
having your kids there who can tell your story as well,
Yeah. I
it's
think
really sweet. Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in the early years just being like the kids, not having the kids around and really tried to get them to wherever they needed to be. But yeah, some of our biggest compliments or reviews were times that guests interact with our kids. So we've kind of, to a certain extent, embraced them being a part of those
Mhm.
evenings.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's shift now to more kind of community and local focus. So, how would you say the local community has kind of supported or shaped your journey?
Um, yeah. I mean, I think the whole journey of our farm has been about community and people
Mhm.
sharing in produce that we grow and coming to our farm store and supporting us, through there. I think that it's really, trendy now and it has been and so it should be to support your community and
Mhm.
support local. I feel like that we have seen the value of those relationships that we've created with people that have come into our store and whatnot, that now we've kind of shifted to where our farm dinners and we're out there supporting other local people. So I think what I'm trying to say is that it is a little more deep rooted, as trendy as it is to shop local. It really is our friends and our neighbors that we want to support, and the
Yeah,
kind of the idea that when everybody is succeeding, so are you.
absolutely.
Yeah, and to meet, I feel like an example is when we're online. when there isn't that face-to-face interaction, then it can be just somebody on the other side of the screen, or you're maybe
Yeah.
not as supportive. But when you
Mhm.
come to get to know, whether it is your neighbor or Ben at the little pork shop or Casey, at the Perth farmhouse, and you start to build these relationships with them, then it really becomes like this true supportive nature where, yeah, you put a face to the name and you're willing to help
Mm.
them and vice versa, with whatever they need. So it builds a strong community. And
Yeah, for sure. And those are the kind of referrals you would want as well, because the people that are going to those establishments are likely local as well, or know somebody local and are just continuing to bring that to you guys too.
yeah,
So,
and
yeah, that's great.
we're all kind of in the same boat in terms of, small businesses or families
Mhm.
or, just we're all kind of with the same goals in mind. And so any support, in our ventures is a good thing. So.
Absolutely. So, I guess that kind of ties into my next question too. You have a lot of, you grow a lot of your own ingredients on the farm as well. So, when you do have to outsource, is it outsourced? Do you try to keep that local as well, or as local as
Mhm.
possible?
Yes, we do. So, for our farm dinners, let's say our 6-course farm dinners, we do try and grow as much as we can on our farm. Where we tend to outsource a lot is with meats. We raise, turkey and chickens and eggs, but no beef or pork or that sort of stuff. So the emphasis is on Perth County, but
Mhm.
definitely it's also on, yeah, our neighbors that
Mhm.
have beef cattle that they're raising, that even though what we're doing is small, we're not, buying in tons and tons of ingredients or meats. Like the dinners are 6 tasting plates. They don't require a ton, but every little bit helps every little small business. So if we
Mhm.
can get meat from down the road versus, where a butcher shops, so to speak,
Mhm.
we're helping another family farm. So yeah, so Perth County for sure, neighbors and people that have a pear tree and they're trying to sell a bushel of pears 2 roads back.
Yeah.
That's the kinda stuff we love to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And I'm sure, anyone coming to the farm appreciates that as well. That's probably what they're coming to experience. They want that
Mhm.
whole farm to table experience as well, and all fresh, local.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
So we kind of dabbled on it with the dinners, but just to kind of give a more so of a deep dive and overview, what experiences can visitors have coming to the farm today?
So right now we have, I think, just 3 more weekends of our 6-course farm dinner. So we're finishing, kind of wrapping up that, and then we come back to our farm store for some takeaway turkey dinners. We are also doing a big fundraiser that weekend, so there's that going on at the farm store, and then we switch back to finish up the outdoor dining with some country cookouts. So it's a different model of dining experience that we do in the early and late months of the season, so May and October. So they're different from the 6-course. It's a set family style menu of like fried chicken and ribs and cornbread and salads. And the shorter dining experience, although we have a heated tent, kind of allows for those colder months to
Mhm.
accommodate a more comfortable outdoor event.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw that from time to time you like to bring in some live music, it looks like, or
Yes, yeah. So
some
we
entertainment. Yeah.
used to from time to time, and it's an amazing part of the evening is to have like some really good musicians. It just adds. So this year, I think that maybe all but one night had live music. So it is
Okay.
a permanent now part of the evening.
Oh,
Mhm.
it just, yeah, makes that experience just relaxing, really, when
Yeah,
someone's playing a guitar in the back or
that's
whatever the case may
yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yep, and we do have we have an outdoor big bonfire going, and so I think that is part of the appeal is it is a really relaxing experience. The
Mhm.
farm dinners, for example, are almost 4 hours, so, it's very
Okay.
leisurely and it goes by, very, quickly, and
Mhm.
people are having their own table for dinner, but then able to come out to the bonfire, and you always see them chatting, having a drink, listening to the music that's still going on. It does become, a very kind of intimate,
Yeah, for sure.
experience.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that just sounds lovely.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you said there was a quarry there too, right? So
Yeah.
are all the dinners kind of set near that
Yep.
atmosphere as well? The quarry, the fire, yeah.
Yeah, yes, it's all the tent we have is overlooking the quarry that's kind of in our backyard. So,
Okay.
yeah, and then we have ducks and geese and all sorts of just wandering free range pets. So it's all
Yeah.
part of the dining experience to kind of
Yeah,
see the animals and the wildlife, like just kind of wandering around as well.
that's awesome. So, do you have any kind of exciting plans or dreams of the future that you would like to see on the farm
I think our next
that you can share?
Yeah, well, and they're all very I think our next steps would be to have an indoor facility to continue
Mm,
offering some dining experiences. I don't know when that will be. I think we're in very early thought stages of that, but I think our dinners are very intimate and lovely, and they have their own special thing going on back behind our house overlooking the
mm,
quarry. So we wouldn't maybe mess with that. That is our outdoor seasonal. But to on the flip side, we do a lot of catering and in the winter months, and we have a lot of people asking, do we have somewhere that they can have their events or dine? So I think very small. It wouldn't be a large venue, but something that we could continue to carry on a type of dining experience or get-togethers for people on the farm.
yeah, have it a all seasonal kind of event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, that's right. It's nice. Seasonal is nice because we do get to see a little bit of a break in the winter,
Mhm.
but at the same time, you do want to kind of you get into the flow of it, and then it ends at the end of October.
Right.
So it would be nice to kind of keep the ball rolling and doing
Yeah,
what we
for
love.
sure.
Hmm.
So earlier you had mentioned that you are kind of starting preparation for the Thanksgiving meals. Can you speak a little bit on what that looks like, what's included, how someone can purchase those?
Mhm. So our Thanksgiving at the farm is we raise some Orlop bronze. They're a heritage breed turkey, and it's kind of the end of the season in that all of the bounty that we've harvested from the garden, so our own potatoes and carrots, and is all going. Our sourdough bread that we make at the stores, all going in to make this really wonderful from the farm turkey dinner. So we offer that as a to go, take home warm at home option. Obviously in any amount, but lots of large family gatherings that comes with dessert and the sides and the homemade buns and all that stuff.
I know from Perth Farmhouse, that's in New Hamburg, you kind of collaborate with them as well, and you guys produce their graze boxes when they have their sip and graze experiences going on. So, do you want to speak a little bit as to kind of what someone can find in those graze boxes and kind of how that all started?
Sure, yes. Yeah, we're really honored actually to be able to do that for the Perth Farmhouse. The boxes that we've created with them are really beautiful and full of lots of great little local pieces of food that we create here at Lynn River Farm. So they have a graze box that they have offered last season and this season, and then the addition of a brunch box this year as well. So both of those created at the farm. The Perth Farmhouse is doing a wonderful business and a growing business. So we've been really busy to get those together every weekend for them. So all of the ingredients we make here in our farm store kitchen, the brunch box that they've added this year includes a homemade scone, chicken salad, a cranberry apple grape chicken salad that we were really well known for, in a croissant with some baked goods, some yogurts, one of our deviled eggs with some candied maple bacon and fresh fruit. So,
Yeah, well, I not too long ago had the brunch box as well, and I that probably is my personal favorite. It was
that's
just full of deliciousness.
good.
And even though you go and the experiences for one, like there is a lot of food in those
There
boxes. You
is.
pack those boxes full.
They
Yeah.
are, yes, presentation. It has to be nice and
It's
full.
beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they are beautiful. I think they could be shared, but yeah, once you get into them, maybe you don't want to share them. So I think
No, or
a
take it
lot
home
of
for a
people
little
just,
snack later.
yeah,
I don't want to share my box with anyone.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Lindsay. It was so great to hear your story about the farm and all of the experiences and just kind of getting more of a deep dive into what it is you got going on over there.
Yeah.
For anyone who's listening, you can visit Lynn River Farm on their website, lynnriverfarm.com, or you can visit them on socials as well at Lynn River Farm or Graze Lynn River Farm as well. Thank you again, Lindsay. See you on the next one.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it.
Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it. The odds